All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the coaching hour. If you can hear me and if you can see me, just let me know in the chat box. You can say a yes in the chat box to just let me know. If you're watching us on YouTube, just comment in the comment box section. All right, perfect. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. It's good to be here with you all once again. So, as you all know, we have something exciting today. It is something that I have never taught before. It is something that is absolutely sensationally, different. Some of the concept you may have an idea, some of the concept you may don't have an idea. Some of these things may be a repetition for you, but all is going to be worth the time that you are about to spend here for the next 40 minutes or maybe 30 minutes, because this is not a long lesson, but it has a depth in it, and I really want you to pay attention to that. First of all, I want you to look at this image. You see, if you look at this image, you see the bird flying there, and the birds have their freedom. They don't need a particular address, they don't need a particular location. They can fly just from one place to another. In fact, they can fly from one continent to another. There are birds like that. So that means they have freedom. And if we want freedom in our life, we must have something in our life that gives us that freedom. And in my opinion, this is the formula that gives you that freedom, and it is the WWWH formula. Now, this is very interesting. And before I get into this idea, I really want to share the resource from where I get that idea, because as I always said, most of the ideas that I share here with you are not mine ideas. They are the ideas that I learned from great mentors, from great people from all over the world. And I have a sincere desire of sharing those ideas with everyone that I meet and everywhere I meet. And this is the best platform, the coaching hour, where I meet a lot of you every single week and I share value that change your life. Now, this idea was not like directly mentioned in a book, but it was written in a paragraph that I read in the book Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. And when I read that, I was like, wow, that really make a lot of sense to me. This should be taught as a formula. So here I am sharing my understanding and my experience about the WWWH formula. If you have a pen and paper ready, that would be great for you. That would be very handy for you right now, because it is going to expand your mind, because I'm going to leave you with a lot of questions at the end of the today's session. So let's move towards the first understanding. What is WWWH formula? The first one is what? And this is the question every single personal development mentor asks. Doesn't matter whoever you are, doesn't matter wherever you are. This is the question that may have been asked to you by someone at some time. And even my mentor, Bob Proctor, starts every meeting with this question, and that is, what do you really want? And this is what he really emphasized upon, like, what do you really want? And in fact, he encourages us, to decide what we want, write it on a piece of paper, carry a goal card every day with us, because that is the foundation. That what do I really want? And when it's about goals, when it's about wants, it's not about what your mama wants you to be, it's not about what your daddy, your society, your friends, or your neighbors want you to be. It's about, what do you want? And we are talking about freedom. And Bill Gove said something very beautiful on freedom. He said, if I want to be free, I got to be me. Not the me you or anybody else think I should be. If I want to be free, I got to be me, and I know who the real me is. And you know who the real you is. So you got to decide what do you really want. We're going to expand upon that. When you want it. This is very important. And as I go in the further slides, I'm going to elaborate, upon these points in very details. And then it is the next W, that is why you want it. Now, this is a point that actually is very important right there. Now, every point is important, but this is the foundation. If you find out the first point, if you find out the second point, the third point is going to tie everything together. And then the fourth one is how you intend to get it. It is absolutely marvelous, wonderful what I am about to share with you now. So let's get into the first one, and that is what? I mean, what do you really want? You know, Earl Nightingale wrote a great article way back in 1960s, and that is regarded as one of the best article at that time, and it is still it is. It is one of the best 40-minute philosophy you can ever hear on success, and that was The Strangest Secret. And in that strangest secret, Earl Nightingale pointed out two major reasons. He said, successful people are successful because they have goals. And they're successful because they think from their goals, not from outside. And if you really want to become successful, you must know what do you really want. It's not about, just a fantasy or something like that. In fact, it's about fantasy, but it should be something that really scares you, something that really excites you at the same time. Like, I always have goal cards with me. I have 25 of them that I just newly printed a couple of days ago. This is the foundation of my success, my goal. Now, I have written very clearly on these goal cards that what do I really want. And I'm going to recommend you to think about it. I'm really going you to recommend that really think about this question, that what do you really want? And start with your profession, start with your personal life. Take a two blank sheet of paper and write down your personal wants and write down your professional wants. Maybe make a list of 100 bunch of things. And then out of those 100 things, pick the one that is very, very important for you in the present moment. Set it as your goal. And remember, goals are not to get, goals are for growth. It's not about what you get in the process when you set a goal. It's about who you become in the process that makes a lot of difference. For example, when I set any goal, it's not more about what I will get in the process. Although money is a very important part, the services is very important. The gadgets I'm using, they're very important. They all cost me money. But it is what I am becoming in the process. The person I was 5 years ago and the person I am right now, there's a huge difference. I can tell you there is a difference like night and day. And if you want to watch the difference, go back on my YouTube channel and watch my first video that I posted in 2015, maybe. You will see the difference. You will see the difference in surrounding. You will see the difference in me, but you will notice one common thing. That is a sincere desire to help people. That is the energy that I put into my task. So if you really want to grow in your life, if you really want to win in a big way, you must decide, what do I really want? It's like the James Allen said that the dreams are the seedling of realities. It's an idea. It's your worthy ideal. And it's not about whether the idea is worthy or not. It's not about whether you are worthy or not. You are worthy. It's about whether the idea is worthy of your time and money investment or not. Now, I have a goal right now, and I know this goal deserves my attention. This goal deserves my focus. This goal is worthy of my attention. Do you have these kind of goals? And if you don't have, you are lacking in the first step of the foundation. That is, what do you really want? And I have recorded a video last year and I call it the starting point. Most people think the starting point where they are. That's not the starting point. The starting point is where you are aiming in your life. It's about where you are aiming. As I can see that, some of you are just commenting on YouTube. There are a couple of you are joining with us. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Rajiv. Welcome, Navdeep. Good to see you here, guys. So that is very powerful to think and decide, like, what do you really want? Want are in the conscious mind. And once you decide that, you got to plant them in the subconscious mind. I'm going to talk about them in the coming slide. And I really want you to pay attention. Now let's move to the second step. And that is when you want it. This is very, very crucial. Now, before we talk about the when you want it or how it is going to happen or how your goals are going to manifest, I'm going to teach you about the law. And the law is the law of gender. That law states that every spiritual seed, like every thought seed, for example, my goal is a thought seed. And I can tell you, not even the most experienced scientist available on the earth can tell me when my goal is going to manifest. None of them can tell me. Everyone can guess their own way. No one can tell me the exact time that it will take for me to achieve my goal, because my goal and your goal and everyone's goal, when it happens by a law, and that is a law of gender. But it is very important to give yourself a time, because when you give yourself a time, you give yourself a direction to follow. Because if you're not setting a goal and if you're not setting a time, you're not going to focus. Let's say you set a goal, I want to earn 5 lakh rupees a month. but you have not given yourself a date, you know what's going to happen? Every single day, every single week, every single month, you're going to say, oh, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, and you're not going to do it. There has to be a specific date. Imagine when you was in a school and you don't know when was the exam date, you never start preparing until you know when is the exam date. And usually we prepare just one day before the exam, all of the backbenchers like me. Why we do that? Because whenever we set a date, we give a command right there to our mind that, all right, boom, that has to be done there, has to be there. So you got to give yourself a date, and understand that when you're giving a date, truly understand that you're guessing it. You're absolutely guessing it. It may happen at that date, it may not happen at that date. But if it may happen, that's good. If it may not happen, understand the law. You got to keep going, understand and learn from that experience, move ahead with a better understanding, with a better excitement, and with a better focus. So it's very important to decide when you want it. And then come the third step of the foundation that ties everything together. And it's why I want it. Now, many people, when they set goal, when they really decide that what I want, they lack the emotional connection. Now, if I draw it right here, and I want to explain you this one because this is really crucial. Okay. So very, very closely pay attention to this one. And I know you all know the diagram. You all know about the mind. If you don't know about it, this is your mind right there, guys. Okay. This is your mind right there. The big circle is the mind, and then the mind is divided into two parts. There is a conscious mind and there is a subconscious mind. And this small circle right there is your body. The small circle right there is your body. Okay. So pay very, very close attention to this, because if you want to understand the concept of why, this diagram is going to give you a lot of clarity. Now, your mind and body are connected. Your body only does what the mind commands it to do. Now, when I say the first step is to decide what you want, what is going to be right there in your conscious mind? And whatever is in your conscious mind, that is not going to change your vibration, that is not going to change your action. You really have to plant this desire right there in the subconscious mind, because as we know, it is subconscious mind that 95% of our actions, our behaviors are controlled by our subconscious mind. So we got to find a way to plant our want into our subconscious mind. And the way we can plant it right here is by asking ourselves why I want it. The more you ask yourself why I want it, the more you are actually connecting yourself emotionally with the desire. Okay. It's about really getting emotionally involved with the idea. And when you get emotionally involved with what you want, that become a burning desire. And you know what Napoleon Hill said? He said, burning desire is the starting point of all accomplishments. That is the reason why it is very important that you must know what you want, and equally important that you know why you want it. And we all have our own personal reasons, right? I can tell you how important the why is. I can tell you that why it is important. Okay. But you have to ask yourself, what is your reason? You got to ask yourself, like, what is your reason? I cannot give you your reason. You cannot give me my reason, but surely I can help you to figure out your reason. One of the best reason anyone can have to achieve their goal is their family. We all want to give a great family life to our family. We all want to give them a lot of services. We all going to fulfill their wishes. We want them to have a happy and a healthy life. So start with your family. Family is a big motivational factor. It is a reason to live. For many people, it is the only reason to live. And for some people, it is not the reason for life. That's why I said your reasons can be different. But it is very important to have a reason, because if you don't have, you are toasted. You're not going to get it. You're going to feel frustrated. You're going to, go off track. And then you will be thinking, where I'm going wrong. That is the reason why people start things and they quit in between, because they don't have a solid, strong reason. You must have a strong reason that emotionally binds your want, and that actually keep that fire, that desire burning within your subconscious. When that fire is burning within your subconscious, that is the only time when you're going to go out there and make big things happen. So you got to understand that. Very important to understand this very vital point. Why? And then comes the last point. and that is how you intend to get it. Once again, a very powerful, but the question here is, most of you have an idea what you want to do. Most of you have an idea, if I want to earn money, what my passions are. But the problem is that we have doubts, we have fears, we have worries, that we feel that I cannot do it, I cannot make money at that, this is not possible. And we think all the time that how it is going to happen. And if you're not sure about the how, understand, write that on a piece of paper, that what I really want to do. Start getting emotionally involving with that idea that you already have it. And then be very open to the guidance that you're receiving from the universe. Because your intuition is always telling you that what you're good at. And what you're good at is your how. Now, you may not know how to put that into action, but you will know what you have to do. For example, for 5 years, I know that I want to help people. I want to help people. I have no clear idea how I'm going to help people, but I have an idea. I want to help people. And slowly and steadily, I started learning about myself. I started applying these principles on my life, and they start changing my life. And then I made the decision that I want to become a coach. And that was in 2017 when I started my company. And it is going to be a 3-year anniversary this December for our company. And it all starts with an idea. So you really have to understand what you want, when you want, why you want, and how you intend to get it. If all these WWWH are sorted, my dear friends, you're going to rock it. But it starts with very setting up the foundation. Now, it was a very short lesson today, but it was a powerful one. Now, I may create a more detailed training on this subject, and that may be available. It may be available on my website, maybe in a month from now, or a week from now, or 2 weeks from now. That depends. But I really want you to work on these points, and I'm going to give you that training pretty soon. All right. I may run that as an online training, maybe a couple of hours or something like that. But it is really absolutely going to be a valuable thing for you. And now, if you have questions, I really recommend you to go ahead and ask your questions. Any questions you have, I really want you to let me know those questions. And before I forget, I really want you to invite to my masterclass that is happening tomorrow. If you're a part of my Facebook group, if you're a part of my WhatsApp group, you will get notified, you will get links and all that stuff. And I'm really looking forward to see you there. And keep an eye in our group. And if you are signed up for my email newsletters, keep an eye on your email. This course, WWH Formula, it is going to be pretty soon available to the whole world, because I want to change your life. I want to help you. So now, if you have questions, guys, bring them in the Q&A box. And I'm really excited for your questions. I believe you guys must have questions, because it is very important to have them. If you have any questions, just go ahead and type that in the Q&A box. If you're on YouTube, guys, feel free to type your question in the comment box. I will read your question from the comment box, and I will answer them right here on this live call. If you have questions, feel free to ask those questions. In the meanwhile, I'll share a little bit more info about the masterclass that is about to happen tomorrow. The masterclass, it's a dream power masterclass. I know you have dreams, and how to turn that dreams into reality. That's what I'm going to show you tomorrow in the masterclass. It is going to be absolutely wonderful one. It is going to be an amazing, sensational masterclass. So be there, because it can change your life. You can never imagine what a big change it can produce. You can never imagine where it can take you in your life. You got to be there. You got to experience that. It will happen around the same time when our coaching call happens, 7 p.m. But sensational value is going to be offered there. And in case you have no question, guys, you can simply see that no more questions, so that we can just simply wrap up the session. And then I'll see you tomorrow in the masterclass. All right. So here's a question from Prema. Sir, you said earlier that you get yourself different goal card printed. We should have one goal card. All right. So Prema, I have several goal cards, but they all have common goal. It's not like that I have different goal cards with different goals. I have many goal cards with the same goal, and I carry them in different places. I carry one of them in my pockets. I carry one of them in my books. I carry one of them on my table, one of them on my shelf, one of them in my, wallet, different places. All right. So it's like the one goal card many different prints and carried in different position, the areas of my house, Prema. Okay, awesome, Prema. I understand its need in conscious mind, which become want when impressed. It's want in the conscious mind, and when it get impressed to the subconscious, then it become desire, Suresh. Whatever you have understood that it is need and want, that is wrong understanding. It's a want in the conscious mind, it's a wish, it's a want, and when you plant it to the subconscious, it becomes a desire, and it's a desire that drives you. It's a desire that really strives you in your life. I hope you get better clarity now, Suresh. Perfect. All right, who else have a question? Somebody said no more question. Guys on YouTube, do you have questions? Bring it up, guys, if you have. It's important to have questions, YouTubers. All right, so I think we have no more questions now. In case you have questions later on, guys, you can always pass those questions in the WhatsApp group, in the Facebook group, and I would really help you to answer them. So see you tomorrow in the masterclass. Till then, take care and have a great life.